Hello and thanks for joining us from our studios in Israel. I'm Aaron Porras here with ILTV's Morning Briefing. In response to claims that Israel had crossed the Lebanese border to install spy equipment, several dozen Lebanese protesters gathered at the border last night. Some of the crowd even crossed into Israeli territory just outside of the border fence before being dispersed by IDF troops using tear gas and smoke grenades. The spying allegations against Israel were recently charged by Hezbollah terror leader Hassan Nasrallah, who just last week threatened not to hold back behind any red lines, saying in a conflict with Israel, the targets would include an ammonia tank in Haifa and Israel's nuclear facility in Dimona. Hezbollah and Israel were last engaged in a major war in 2006, and the border hasn't been completely quiet since. United Nations peacekeepers have kept some form of a watch, though Israel reportedly regularly conducts missions across the border. Just last week, Israeli jets were reportedly spotted striking a weapons convoy headed for Hezbollah. The IDF, as per normal, refused to comment. The first official Israeli mission to Australia by a sitting prime minister has ended today, and possibly with enormous implications on the two-state solution. A source close to the prime minister reported that during Netanyahu's meeting with Australian Foreign Minister Julie Bishop this morning, the premier allegedly stated he would never relinquish security control over a Palestinian state, and that his reasons lie with the international community's failure to protect Israel in the past from her neighbors. Netanyahu's statement was supposedly in response to Bishop's inquiry into what Netanyahu meant by supporting a Palestinian state. Over the course of Netanyahu's 5-day trip to Australia, he also met with Prime Minister Malcolm Turnbull, opposition leader Bill Shorten, and several other Australian leaders. Several leaders, like Bishop and opposition MP Bill Shorten, raised questions on Israel's settlement policy, support for a two-state solution, Iran, and more. Despite the questioning and the occasional protest, Netanyahu still described his diplomatic visit as wonderful. On Thursday, there was yet another defeat for the boycott, divestment, and sanctions campaign as the Spanish town of Petrer voted to rescind its support for the movement. After facing a lawsuit by ACOM, a pro-Israel lobby group, the city of 95,000 became one of only 3 Spanish municipalities to voluntarily retract its support for the BDS movement. In recent months, Spanish courts have blocked 10 BDS resolutions and have suspended another 3. While promoting BDS is illegal in France, Spain has at least 50 municipalities that have joined the movement, the highest number out of any other country in Europe. We all have that one friend who loves to take selfies, but one young Israeli, Shivel Dickstein, seemed to be taking selfies to a whole new level. On Friday, Dickstein was arrested for trespassing when he tried to climb the Brooklyn Bridge so he could take a picture with the New York skyline. His arrest comes just days after a group of teenagers nearly drowned trying to take a selfie in Central Park when the frozen pond they were standing on cracked. Though this obnoxious trend seems harmless, selfie deaths have actually been increasing worldwide. The first reported one was in January, when a teenager was killed trying to take a selfie on a train track in Kashmir, India. For the first time ever, a public English library is set to open in the Gaza Strip. The only catch is that it happens to be in the library of a Palestinian graduate student. Mossab Abu Toha completed his graduate degree in English literature at the Islamic University of Gaza, and now teaches Shakespeare at a United Nations high school in the Strip. He's been quoted as saying, quote, "I have read dozens of books in English, and with them I can travel to every country in the world and through all periods. I feel like I'm in another world," end quote. Since Hamas's bloody takeover of the Gaza Strip in 2007, Israel has maintained a blockade, making it hard to import commercial goods, including books. To get around the blockade, Mossab has been asking people on Facebook to donate to the library. So far, he's collected more than 200 books, as well as over $2,000 from American and European donors. On top of that, Mossab has even donated about 200 books from his own personal library. That's all for now. I'm Aaron Porras, and see you later with our main daily broadcast from Israel at 2 p.m. Eastern Time.